Hi everyone, welcome at the Seekers Project. Today I want to tell you about my experience going on an internship to New Zealand at 18 years old. Going to New Zealand was a dream coming true. I had been dreaming of going to New Zealand for many years, and I told myself that the first time I would get the chance to go, I would go. And that was this internship. It was a journey that taught me a lot about independence and self-reliance. In this video, I will share with you what I learned from this life-changing experience. This opportunity I have to thank all to my mom. She taught me to speak up about what I want. At the time, she had a cafe. I was working there and we both would tell everyone that we would run into about my dream of going to New Zealand for an internship. We ended up meeting this guy who was having a drink at my mom's cafe. We told him about my dreams and he told us that he actually knew someone working at a university in Christchurch and that he was willing to connect us. It was through her that I found that internship, and what I think that's really funny about this is that I actually heard that this guy introduced me to her as her friend. Then she introduced me to this company as a friend of hers. So all these people didn't know me at all, but they called me their friend and made this happen for me, and I'm so grateful for that. When I arrived in New Zealand, I had no place to stay yet. I only booked 2 nights in a hostel, and besides that, I met a woman from the Netherlands through the internet that was living in New Zealand, and she told me that she would probably be able to help me to find a house, but she couldn't guarantee anything, so I was just going there empty-handed. When I arrived there, she gave me this amazing opportunity. At the first day, we went horse riding together on the beach of New Zealand, talking about the possibilities for me to live somewhere. She actually told me that the places that she did have to offer for me were probably not really suiting for an 18-year-old girl, as it were houses full of expats, often adult males that were a lot older than I was. She told me that she actually didn't feel comfortable with me staying there, so she offered me a place in her own house. She was going with her family back to the Netherlands for a month, and during that time I could watch the dogs together with another girl and stay in her house. Such a generous offer to someone that she barely knew. But of course this was a temporary solution. I was staying there in New Zealand for 5 months and I had a place for this 1 month. So I had this 1 month to find something else. And it is actually a pretty crazy story how I actually ended up finding a place. I was trying to meet people and I couldn't meet any locals. I was only meeting people in clubs and bars and everything that were only staying there for a couple of days and would leave afterwards. But I was looking for people that were staying there. So I ended up going through Tinder. I was asking the people on Tinder, like, where do I find people my age? Where do I find people that actually live here? Because I don't seem to find them in the clubs. Well, this one guy told me that it actually makes sense that I couldn't find any locals in the clubs because locals can't even afford to go out there too often. They often go to their own parties, their house parties. And he invited me to one of those. I can tell you, I was pretty nervous going there by myself. I wasn't sure if that was a good idea because, I mean, it's pretty dangerous to go with a stranger from the internet to some party in a country that you didn't know. But I did feel like I had to take the risk because I was already a few weeks had passed and I didn't meet anyone that I could actually feel like I could be friends with. So I took the leap and I went. And that was actually a great decision because at that party I met him, I met all his friends, all his housemates, and I actually became friends with them super fast. They invited me to another party a few days later, and after that they invited me to live with them. So there was this girl and she was always at her boyfriend's house and she offered to share her room with me since she was almost never there. Well, of course, I took this opportunity with both hands and I had an amazing time there. This experience taught me that I can trust my own feelings and that I can listen to myself and make good decisions. Even at just 18 years old, I knew how to handle myself and how to make friends. I could build a life all by myself in the other side of the world. Aside from the lessons about independence, also the culture of New Zealand taught me a lot. The people that I met actually taught me that it doesn't matter how you look, how you dress, or what your views are, as long as you are a nice, good person. They made me realize that I didn't really care about makeup or how I dressed. I care about meeting people, connecting with people, and connecting with nature. This lesson is still very dear to me, even though it might have taken me a little bit more time to really sink in after this experience. When I went back to the Netherlands, I fell back in my own behavior. I just fell back into my old life and going on my old ways. But slowly I was getting more averse to what was going on in the Netherlands and how I was feeling there. I felt judged when I wasn't wearing the proper clothing according to some people for the situation, or people judged me because I didn't wear makeup. I actually lost a lot of friends over this because they told me I had changed. And I had changed. But where I was willing to accept all of them for their choices they made, they unfortunately weren't willing to accept mine. My journey to New Zealand taught me invaluable lessons about independence, self-reliance, and being true to yourself. And perhaps the most important lesson that I learned is that if your friends don't accept the choices that you make, the choices about who you are, they're not really friends. So please, if you have any friends that don't accept you for who you are or for the choices that you make for yourself, let them go, because there are so many people in the world that will accept you for who you are, and they will be way better friends than you can ever imagine. Thank you for watching this video, and I would love to see you at the next one.